Alright, so in this video, check it out. This is definitely the last video I'm uploading today. I gotta head over to a friend's here in a little bit. So yeah, check it out. I'm fighting little Nobby here. He's not a bad player, he's pretty good. But I'm having trouble killing him with the FRG because I'm just sucked in balls right now. So I'm going for the kill here. And I jump out. He nails me with the plasma, kind of. He did get me pretty good there, but I plastered him with the FRG, and we got a retard over here in the ghost for some reason. And so I throw a sticky grenade and land it right on his little snow plow. And then he tries to charge me, and I use the wall as cover, and yeah. That was pretty hilarious.
Double kill.
It's like something out of Looney Tunes. That shit was funny. But anyway, in this video I want to talk about controls. Anyone who's curious about the way that I play Halo Reach, I play on Boxer. That's the control scheme that I use. With Halo 3, I usually played on default, and eventually I went to the MLG settings, the bumper jumper. But the problem with bumper jumper is the bumpers on the 360 controller. They kind of wear out pretty easily over time, especially if you're a pretty rigorous gamer like I am. And sometimes they're not as responsive, and it's kind of hard to get a feel for the ground you're standing on when you're using bumper jumper. So, like, that was annoying. A bumper jumper is amazing for being able to move, aim, shoot, throw grenades, switch weapons, and melee and throw grenades pretty much all at the same time. Well, maybe not switch weapons, I can't remember. But, like, it gave you the ability to keep your thumbs on the analogs for as long as possible without ever really having to take your thumbs off the analogs. So that was kind of nice, but the Halo 3 control scheme kind of pissed me off because I like Boxer. Boxer is what I play Reach with, and it feels really good to be able to melee people who get too close with left trigger. It's right there. Your finger is like always on it, and that works good for me. Unfortunately, you have to get used to throwing grenades with right bumper, but I've gotten pretty good at that, so that's not a big deal. You just have to learn how to use one hand to aim and throw grenades at the same time. It's kind of like shooting a Spartan laser, you know? So that's not too hard to deal with. So Boxer is pretty much perfect for me in Halo Reach. It sucks balls in Halo 3 and ODST. If you play Halo 3 and ODST with Boxer, you have to throw grenades with the B button, which is fucking shit. How the fuck are you supposed to aim a grenade toss and throw a grenade at the same time with only one thumb? I mean, it's fucking stupid. I don't know why they thought this was okay. That's fucking trash. So, that's one of the reasons why I can't use Boxer in Halo 3 or ODST very good. In ODST it's not so bad because you're fighting AI, there's no multiplayer, so it's easy to predict the enemy movements. So throwing a sticky grenade on an enemy in ODST is not that hard. Plus, you get like fucking 9 sticky grenade type weapons. You're able to carry 3 fire grenades, 3 spike grenades, and 3 sticky grenades, which is kind of weird because in this game you can only carry 4 grenades, but in that game you can carry like fucking 12 grenades. So I don't know why ODSTs can carry so many more grenades than Spartans. It makes no fucking sense, but whatever. Not gonna argue. But anyway, the way I play Reach is with Boxer, and I use sensitivity 2 is what I play on. Now I know you're all going to call me a scrub for playing on such a low sensitivity, but it's because I'm lazy, alright? I don't feel like taking the effort to aim really hard. And honestly, if you're sensitivity 2, when you get into needle rifle, DMR rifle, or Magnum battles, like, it's actually really handy because you never like overshoot it. Unfortunately, though, your turning ability is kind of limited, so you can't turn around and face enemies as quickly, which kind of sucks. But if you're pretty good at the game like I am, you'll rarely ever find yourself in that situation because you're playing smart and you try your best to never let enemies get behind you. So, and the turning isn't that bad. So I play on sensitivity 2. I was thinking about stepping it up to 3 or 4 because I used to play on that and I did okay with that as well. But I don't know. I'm just used to sensitivity 2. So that's pretty much the only reason I'm still playing on sensitivity 2. I'll try other sensitivities one day, maybe, because it's always fun to mix things up and try new things. So whatever. Anyway, that's how I play. But I don't take the game very seriously competitively. Like, I really don't. Like I said in previous videos, I know I'm repeating myself. A lot of the stuff I've already said in this video, I've probably said in videos in the past, but I don't take the game very seriously competitively. Like I said, back in the day, I used to, and in Halo 3, I got a bunch of 50s in different playlists, kicked a lot of ass, so I know I'm good at the game. So I don't give a shit about trying to further prove myself to the world that I'm good at Halo. I don't fucking care. The only reason I record hilarious videos like this is because awesome shit happens sometimes, and it's cool to watch. So anyway, now I was going to talk about my control scheme. I took this picture just now. Not control scheme, I mean controller. So as you can see, these are some of the controllers that I got. I customized them myself, bought these new shells. It's like a glossy kind of coating that goes over the controller shells. These are really nice because they're really smooth feeling, so they feel comfortable. They're not made out of that straight up plastic kind of material that like most controllers, like the PS2 controller or the regular 360 controller, are made out of. It's got that smooth gloss, so it looks nice. It's shiny, nice and shiny, and it's smooth, and it just feels good, you know. And on these controllers, I you know, themed them by buying some stuff on eBay. I bought like there's the Zelda controller I made. The red one is that's an emblem of Emil's skull emblem from Halo Reach, you know, Emil's thingy, his skull thing, whatever that is. And then I got the blue one is the Punisher skull, and then I got some kind of nuclear controller over there. So yeah, pretty cool what I've done. There's no mods to my controllers. I know I could probably buy like one of those scuff controllers or some souped up controller, but I don't want to pay that kind of money because it's kind of useless. And especially in games like Halo, these modded controllers don't help that much. Like, sometimes they can improve accuracy and fire rate slightly, but I noticed modded controllers for rapid fire mods for Halo, they don't really pay off that well. Now, if you're playing another shooter, like Perfect Dark 64, the remake on 360, or a Call of Duty game, then yeah, the mods make a significant impact, of course. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that by now. A rapid-fire controller in Call of Duty will turn a fucking Colt pistol into a fucking auto mag, you know? Ridiculous. But I don't really care about modded controllers, and a lot of the time it just makes it too easy, and you don't feel impressed with what you do, so that kind of sucks. So I just go with a regular controller, but like I said, I don't take competitiveness really seriously in games, and I don't really care about trying to perform as top-notch as possible. I know a lot of people take it very seriously. Like, for example, I play Reach on the 360 still. Now, they recently updated Reach on the Xbox One, and they actually make the game run better and smoother on the Xbox One. So if I played this game on the Xbox One, I would do a little bit better because I'd be playing on a smoother system. But I still play on the 360 version, and I'm not about to go buy a shitbox one, so yeah, that's how that goes. What else was I going to say? And yeah, I don't play with a wired controller. If you play with a wired controller, of course, there's like little to no delay. If you play with a wireless controller, yeah, there's a slight delay. You can kind of get good at compensating for it, so it's not a big deal. It doesn't make a big fucking difference. But you know, whatever. I don't really give a shit. And having it wireless is nice because you don't have to trip around all these weird cords laying everywhere. So whatever. So that's how I play. I really don't really don't give a shit about making my controller as great as it could possibly be, you know. I really don't care. And another thing I was going to say was some tips about how to maintain controllers really well. And a lot of controller parts, the 360 controller, the main problems with it are the bumpers. A lot of the time the bumpers are not as responsive as they could be, or they don't feel right. Like you need that click kind of sensation to go off every time you push it. That will indicate that the controller is, you know, working good and feels right. You can get used to it if it's kind of shitty, but it's best to make that shit work good. A lot of time you can take the controller apart and put in some duct tape underneath the part that hits the switch, and that'll make it reach it quicker and easier. So sometimes that works, but a lot of the time, I hate to say it, you need to do one of two things. You got to buy a new controller, or you need to learn how to solder and buy the parts and solder. Like, I learned how to solder, and that shit saved me a lot of money, and I also learned a new skill. And soldering kind of takes some skill to get good at, so you gotta fuck with it for a few hours before you become good at soldering. So yeah, that soldering works good. You can buy the parts on eBay and then desolder the old part, remove it, and then solder on the new parts. You can look up YouTube videos. They show you how to do it. And yeah, I was able to restore like 5 controllers because of that shit. So I highly recommend getting into that if you're kind of picky about your controllers. I'm not too picky. It's just, you know, when a controller fucking breaks, it's fucking broke, you know. You want it to last longer. Then why spend $60 when you can get a soldering kit for like $100, everything you need, maybe less than that even if you're lucky, and then you can fix a bunch of fucking controllers and save lots of money in the long run. So, but soldering is a pain in the ass and it does take a little while, but it's worth it if you pull it off. And I was going to say, analogs that stick, that's kind of a problem. A lot of the time you'll buy a new shell for a 360 controller. Well, first off, I'd like to note that I know this video is kind of pointless because a lot of people play on Xbox One and they're dealing with all the problems with the Xbox One controller. And a lot of people argue the 360 controller is better than the Xbox One controller in a lot of ways. And I got to agree. And even my buddy Jake, who plays on Xbox One, he came over a while back and he started playing with Reach with me on my 360. And he was complaining. He was like, dude, I'm used to the Xbox One controller. This is weird. So that's kind of gay that the controllers are similar but different enough to where like you can't get used to one or the other. That's what's nice about PlayStation's controllers. You know, they're all pretty much the same. Like PlayStation 1 through PlayStation 4, it's pretty much the same shit back to back, you know. So that's what's nice about PlayStation. But anyway, what I was saying though is sometimes the analogs will stick. Like I think I have drift on this analog. I need to fix it. Let me show you. Let's see. Wait, no. Come on. Oh yeah, see, look, it's stuck. Look, see? Yeah, okay. Well, some are more sensitive than others, and some are not. You kind of got to get lucky if you get like a really nice controller that has really smooth analogs that are sensitive, just sensitive enough, you know, like perfect for you or whatever. So I know a lot of people, like, they play Reach on sensitivity like 10 and they got good at that and they can turn around real quick and be real badass at the game. I can't do that. Maybe I could if I practiced, but I never found a controller that would work for me in that regard. But whatever, you know. It's kind of to each his own, whatever works best for you. So, but if you have sticking analogs, a lot of the time an easy fix is when you take the controller apart, just get some sandpaper and sand down the nub that the analog sticks on top of, or get a screwdriver and stick it into the analog socket on the bottom and scrape it out so there's more space for the nub to stick into. It sounded kind of dirty, but that's a good way to deal with it. And the D-pad fucking sucks on the Xbox controller no matter what, so you're kind of fucked there. Sorry. Yeah, 360 controller Xbox gaming for fighting games is just shit. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. So anyway, that wraps that up. Alright, see ya.